we get up in front of an audience for the first time and see all those people out there looking at us, we start to think, am I ready? Can I do this? What was I thinking? Maybe this was a really, really bad idea. It happens to everybody. You get up there on stage, you start talking in front of a crowd, you're going to get nervous. It happens to anybody who gets on stage, but the whole challenge is to make sure that even though you're nervous, you still get the job done. This is really important. Recently, a singer, Jessica Simpson, had a situation where she was out on stage performing on a live television show. And she was going to lip sync her song. What that means is that her song would play in the background and she would move her lips as if she were singing. The song came on. Wasn't the song she expected to hear. She looked startled and ran off the stage. Now, these are her songs. She knows these songs. She can do any song. But she allowed her fear to take control. More recently, same person, Jessica Simpson, was in front of a live concert. Thousands of people out there. And in the middle of her song, she stopped, started crying, apologized to the audience, ran off the stage. It happens. If you let fear get the best of you, if you can't face your fear, you're gone. You could become another Jessica Simpson out there. You have to face your fear. If you don't face your fear, you're ruined. That's it. You're done. Before you start speaking, you're completely done. Have to face that fear. And so today, the next 20 minutes, we'll talk about how to face that fear. That fear of public speaking. Important thing you can do is to make sure you practice, and you practice the right way. You will learn 5 different ways to practice, starting from very simple to a little more work. But any one of these 5 ways is going to make you a better speaker. If you don't do any of these 5 things, you're going to be in trouble. And you could pull a Jessica Simpson on your next speech. Find out about the importance of the mind. You will learn how to focus your mind before you get on stage. How to make your mind work for you. So it doesn't say things like, don't mess up, and hope you do well, and are you sure you can do this, and maybe this wasn't a good idea. You can clear all those thoughts out of your mind. Focus your mind, and you'll learn how to do that. You will also learn today simple exercises you can do before you get up on stage. A lot of times people get up on stage and they aren't ready for it. They just aren't ready. These exercises will get you ready. You do these exercises, it'll help you a lot. Now, it's not the same thing as running a marathon. In fact, I don't suggest running a marathon before you start doing public speaking. These exercises will energize you, get you focused and in the moment. Because if you let your fear get the better of you, you're finished. You're done. And you'll be lucky if you can say anything once you get out on stage. But if you face your fear, then you'll do better. Then things will go better. Then everything will be much smoother. So today, we'll learn about the right way to practice. how to get your mind focused on public speaking, and exercises you can do to get you focused and in the moment when you're doing public speaking. Fear is the killer. But it's that same fear, that same excitement that we can use to develop and build our speaking. So it's a matter of taking that fear and taking the energy of the fear and turning it into an excitement of the performance. And if you follow these 3 things we'll talk about today, you can make that happen for your next speech. So come along and learn how to face the fear. In order to make sure that you don't have that fear when you're speaking in front of people, you need to get very, very familiar with your speech. That means you need to practice your speech. Well, duh! Of course! You know that! But quite often people who are new to public speaking, and even some experienced people, don't know how to practice their speech. They don't practice the right way. So here are 5 different things you can do to practice your speech. Each one is a little bit more intense. You don't have to go all the way to do the 5th one. But if you just do at least one of these, you'll become a better speaker. And the first thing you can do is just to read the speech through in your head. If you've got it all written down, great. Go all the way through it and read out what you said to yourself. Just read it through to yourself. If you don't have it written down, then think about what you're going to say, how you're going to say it, and take 5 minutes to kind of think about how the speech would go, how it would work. And if you get some great ideas, then write those ideas down. Just 5 minutes every day spent with that speech, reading it to yourself or reading it through in your head if you don't have things written down. That's it. And you'll be a better speaker because you'll know that speech. You'll know what you're going to say, how you're going to say it. You'll know those things. So the speech will go better. Now the second thing you can do is read the speech out loud. Same thing as before, you just say it out loud. There's a magic in saying things out loud. You start to really hear things, you start to really notice things. And make sure you've got enough quiet time to be able to read a whole speech through out loud. But do it. Read the speech out loud and then you get a real sense of this is what's going on. Also, when you read out loud, it gets very firmly in your head. Then you know what you're saying. You know what you're doing. And you get it. Then it makes sense. Then it works. So far, we've just been talking about the simplest basic things you can do. If you seriously want to get better, you're going to have to take a look at what you're doing. And fortunately, it's very easy today to do that because every computer you buy, every camera you have, is going to have some ability to capture video. All you have to do is to video yourself speaking 5 minutes and watch it for 5 minutes. Now that's 10 minutes. You have to watch it because it's not enough to video it and not watch it. That's not good enough. Video it and watch it and just see what you do. Just get a sense. And there's some things you look at and you'll say, I will never do that again. And other things you'll see and you'll like. Now it can be difficult at first seeing yourself recorded. That's the same for everybody. We say, I don't look like that. It's all right. You do look like that, and you do sound like that. So get used to it and watch the video. Now to bump things up a notch, to get even better, watch the video and make notes about places that you think aren't quite as good as you'd like. Make little notes in your written out speech, if you have a written out speech, Or if you don't, just make notes about things not to do. Things that will help you be more open, be more interesting, be more involved with the audience. Now that's taking you up to 4 different ways you can practice. 4 different ways, each one a little bit stronger. Now the 5th way is after you watch the video, take a look at your speech and rewrite it based on some of the ideas you saw, based on some of the things going there. See what things work, what things don't. And yes, by this point, you will have to have a written out speech. Really, really work at building that speech up and making it better, making it happen. So those are the 5 ways. Read through something in your head, read it out loud, video it and watch it, video it, watch it and take notes, and then just rewrite your speech based on all the things you saw in the video. You do any one of those 5 things every day, and you will become a better, more confident speaker. One of the most powerful things you can do to prepare for your speech is to get your mind set. Get your mind set to do that speech. So you're aware of that speech in your mind. Because if you can see it in your mind, you can do it on the stage. If you can see it, you can be it. You have to be able to clearly see what's going on in your mind before you even step foot out on that stage. Now, to some of you, this might sound like the definition of wishful thinking. But consider this. There was a study done a while back, and a book came out of it called The Inner Game of Tennis. And in that book, professional tennis players were asked to focus in their mind on exactly where they wanted the ball to go on the court. Now, if the ball hit where they wanted it to, they needed to remember, okay, do that again. The ball didn't hit where they wanted it to, said, all right, forget about that. And the better of their ability to focus their mind on that ball, the better tennis they played. Balls that they used to hit slightly outside the boundary, now they hit slightly in. They hit more winning shots, hit more accurate shots. By getting their mind ready before they practiced, they became much better tennis players than they'd been before. And their level of learning jumped. Still have questions? Well, let's do a little exercise to show us all the power of the mind. I want everybody to close their eyes. Just close your eyes. Everybody. Okay. I'm going to close my eyes too. And I hope you all have your eyes closed because I can't see you. Okay. Now imagine this. Picture yourself sitting underneath a very hot sun. The sun is bright. It gets brighter, and hotter, and warmer. And you are sitting underneath this sun, relaxed, calm, sitting in a chair. And you feel the sun shining down upon you as you sit relaxed in the chair. And you feel the warmth of the sun. And the sun gets warmer and warmer. And you feel warmer and warmer. The sun gets hotter and hotter. As the sun gets hotter, you feel yourself start to warm up. Your head, your body, your arms, your hands, your legs, and your feet, your middle, your thighs. As you sit there under the hot sun, warmer and warmer. And now, just picture yourself sitting in that chair underneath the hot sun, getting warmer and warmer. Okay, you can open your eyes. How many people here felt warmer? Anybody? That's exactly it. If you see it in your head, it works in reality. Now let's do the same thing for our speeches. Practice this now. Everybody close their eyes again. I'll close mine too. Picture yourself in front of the audience. You're confident. You know your speech. You look out at the audience and you see people are enjoying the speech. They're laughing at your jokes. They're having a good time. As you continue going through your speech, you see the audience is interested in it, excited in it. You want to hear more about this speech. You develop more and more confidence, certainty as you look out at the audience. You feel better and better about your speech. You give your speech better and better, smoothly delivering your jokes, strongly making your points. The audience is enjoying the speech. You're comfortable and relaxed and in control. Now just picture yourself giving that perfect speech to that audience. Okay, you can open your eyes. That's what you need to do before you get out on stage. Picture that perfect speech in your head. Picture that perfect audience. Make it happen. Make it a reality out there. Because if you see it, you can be it. But if you don't see it in your head, it's not going to happen out there. So remember, before you get up to speak, see it, then be it. Final thing we'll talk about as a way to get you to face your fear is to make sure before you get up on stage, you're ready to go on stage. Sometimes this fear, this nervousness is a sense we haven't quite fully prepared, that our body isn't quite ready. And that's normal. But there are some simple exercises we can do to make sure our body is ready when we go out and we get up there on stage. I want to talk about those. And ask everyone here to also do the exercises along with me. The first one is a simple neck stretch. What we'll be doing is taking our head, putting it down to our chest, rolling it left, rolling it right, up to the ceiling, stretch the mouth, head down to the chest. So just follow along with me. Head down to the chest, roll left, and roll right, up to the ceiling, down to the chest. Good. Let's do it again. Down to the chest, roll left, roll right, up to the ceiling, down to the chest. Simple exercise. Now, this isn't an exercise you can do necessarily in front of everyone. It can look kind of strange. But there are other exercises you can do that are simple, easy, and most people won't even know you're doing exercises. The next one is isometrics. Isometrics is about taking our body and getting it to work against each other to get it stronger. So we take our hands and push them together. We feel our muscles getting strong. That's isometrics. This simple isometrics exercise is about tension and release. So when we release, we're more relaxed than we were before. It's very simple. Just follow along with me. Tense your feet and relax. Tense bottom part from the thighs on down. Hold it and relax. Tense here, in the middle, and relax. Tense the chest area, and relax. Tense both arms, hands into fists, hold it very hard, and relax. Tense your neck, relax, tense your head, and relax. The goal is to feel the relaxation, feel the strength, the tension, and then you feel more relaxed afterwards, after you relax. When you're doing the tension, make sure you really tense those muscles up strong. When you're doing the arm, make sure you get a real fist going before you relax. And that's a simple exercise you can do anywhere, easily, simply, right before you give your speech. When you're doing this exercise, you might want to become more detailed. Focus on just the calves, or focus on just the feet, or just the hands, or just the upper arm, or the lower arm. It's up to you. The whole idea is tension and relaxation. And the final exercise we'll do, it's all about breathing. You breathe, you should breathe in and push out your stomach. When you breathe out, your stomach should be pushed back in. So you breathe from down here, right down here, where your gut is. So put your hand on your stomach. Everybody, put your hand on your stomach. Breathe in. Push your stomach out. Feel the breath pushing your stomach out. Don't do this, but just push your stomach out with your breath. And then breathe out. Feel your stomach going back in. Breathe in. Push that stomach out. Breathe out. Push that stomach in. You want to be careful you don't do this. That's not what this is about. Stand up straight. Breathe in. Just let the air push your stomach out. Breathe out. Let the air push your stomach back in. And those are some simple things you can do before you get up to speak. Simple little things that will have huge improvements in your speaking. If you do these exercises before you speak, you'll face your fear and be a much better, much prepared speaker when you do speak. You now have 3 tools you can use to make sure you can face your fear and get up to speak. The first tool is how to practice. You now have 5 different ways of practicing. Use any way you want, but make sure you use it every day. Day after day after day. That will make you a better speaker. Doing it every now and then won't work. You have to do it every day if you're really going to understand that speech in your head. And that brings us to the second tool, mental practice. Seeing in your head how you want it to go in front of your audience. Our minds are very powerful things and very tricky things. And they can lead us down different paths. We can start to be afraid of, am I ready? Did I do that well? Can I do this? Should I be doing this? All these different thoughts can come up in our head. So we need to practice and get ready mentally before we go out on stage to make sure that we have in our head how we want things to go. Once everything's clear up here, and everything comes fine out here. And the final tool that you learned is how to get the body ready. Because speaking is a physical sport. Not the same as football or javelin throwing, but still it's physical. It's a thing we use the body with. So we have to get our body prepared when we go out there on stage. Make sure that body is ready. And you now have the tool to make sure that happens. Different ways to exercise, prepare the body before giving that speech. So your body's ready for it. And you're relaxed, and you do your best. It's scary going out there on stage, but we need to face that fear. Sometimes that fear can be so great we want to just run right off the stage. And some people do just that. But with these tools you now have, you'll know how to stay there on the stage. How to make sure when you get out on the stage, you're ready for that stage. So now that you know how to face your fear, get out there and start speaking.
I don't see what I put in there.